Have you ever wondered why some people work hard their entire lives and still never become rich? They wake up early, go to work every day, pay their bills on time, and do everything society tells them to do. Yet somehow, decades later, they're still living paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, someone else with a similar income quietly builds wealth and eventually achieves financial freedom. So what's the difference? Is it luck? Is it intelligence? Or is there a hidden system that most people never learn? The truth might surprise you. The average person doesn't stay poor because they're lazy. They stay poor because they unknowingly follow a financial blueprint that was never designed to make them rich. From the moment we're young, we're taught a very simple formula. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, work for 40 years, and eventually retire. For decades, this formula worked reasonably well. But today, the world has changed. Housing costs have exploded, inflation continues to eat away at purchasing power, and wages haven't kept pace with rising expenses. Yet millions of people are still following a financial playbook that belongs to a different era. They're running a race without realizing the rules have already changed. One of the biggest reasons the average person never becomes rich is because they rely on a single source of income. Most people spend their entire lives depending on one paycheck. And while having a stable job is important, relying on one source of money is extremely risky. Imagine trying to sit on a chair with only one leg. The moment that leg breaks, everything collapses. Wealthy people understand something different. They don't just work for money. They build multiple streams of income: investments, dividends, businesses, digital products, rental properties, and side hustles all work together to create financial stability. Another major problem is something called lifestyle inflation. This happens when people increase their spending every time their income increases. They get a raise and immediately upgrade their car. They get a bonus and book an expensive vacation. They receive a promotion and move into a bigger house. On the surface, life looks successful, but behind the scenes, their expenses rise just as fast as their income. Instead of building wealth, they become trapped in an endless cycle of earning and spending. The truth is, many people are not broke because they don't make enough money. They're broke because every dollar they earn already has somewhere to go. Then there's the issue of financial education. Most schools teach algebra, history, and science, but very few teach students how money actually works. Millions of adults graduate without understanding compound interest, investing, taxes, retirement accounts, or debt management. They enter adulthood knowing how to earn money, but not how to grow it. That's like learning how to fill a bucket without realizing there's a hole in the bottom. Debt is another silent wealth killer. Credit cards, car loans, personal loans, and unnecessary financing quietly steal future income. The average person often uses debt to buy things they can't truly afford. Every monthly payment becomes a chain attached to their future paycheck. Wealthy people use debt strategically to acquire assets, while the average person often uses debt to acquire liabilities. There's a huge difference between the two. Perhaps the biggest mistake people make is trading time for money forever. There are only 24 hours in a day, which means there's a limit to how much someone can earn by simply working more hours. The wealthy eventually learn to separate their income from their time. They invest in assets that continue producing money even when they're sleeping. This is why people talk so much about passive income. It's not about becoming rich overnight. It's about creating systems that work for you instead of always working for money. Another reason people never become rich is because they avoid investing out of fear. They keep all their money sitting in a regular savings account, while inflation slowly reduces its value year after year. Meanwhile, long-term investors take advantage of index funds, ETFs, dividend stocks, and retirement accounts, like a 401k. They understand that time is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools ever created. Starting early often matters more than starting with a lot of money. The average person also falls into a dangerous psychological trap. They chase short-term pleasure instead of long-term freedom. It feels good to buy something today, but it's harder to delay gratification for a future reward that might be years away. Wealth building often looks boring. It involves consistency, patience, and repetitive habits. But those boring habits are exactly what create extraordinary results over time. There's also a hidden force working against everyone, and it's called inflation. Inflation quietly increases the price of everything around us. Groceries become more expensive, rent rises, healthcare costs increase, and everyday necessities slowly consume a larger portion of income. If your money isn't growing faster than inflation, you're actually losing purchasing power every single year. This is why saving money alone is no longer enough. Money must grow. One thing wealthy people understand better than anyone else is that systems beat motivation every time. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you'll feel inspired, and other days you won't. But systems create consistency. Automatic investing, budgeting, recurring transfers, and disciplined habits remove emotion from financial decisions. Wealth isn't usually built through giant breakthroughs. It's built through small actions repeated for decades. The truth is, becoming rich isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's not about winning the lottery or discovering a secret investment that nobody else knows. It's about understanding simple principles and applying them consistently for a long time. Most people don't fail because the information is hidden. They fail because they underestimate the power of small decisions made every day. At the end of the day, the average person never becomes rich because they were never taught how wealth is actually built. They were taught how to work, but not how to make money work for them. But here's the good news. This cycle can be broken. You don't have to be born wealthy. You don't have to be a genius. You simply need to learn a different set of rules, because financial freedom doesn't belong to a special group of people. It belongs to those who are willing to think differently, act consistently, and play the long game. And maybe that's the biggest secret of all. Becoming rich is rarely about making one perfect decision. It's about making hundreds of small, smart decisions that quietly change your future forever.